Hey beautiful soul, have you ever knitted a gorgeous cardigan only to find that it just doesn't quite fit? Well, today I'm going to be sharing my best secrets for ensuring that your cardigan turns out beautifully and fits like a dream. Since we're talking about cardigans, today I wanted to share our newest cardigan design with you, Cindy. Cindy by Ann Robinson is a simple, clean, open front cardigan that makes an amazing layering piece. This pattern, with its simple stockinette stitch body and its lovely garter stitch border all around, is designed with the beginner garment maker in mind. The beautiful thing about this cardigan is that it's knit in pieces and then seamed together. So that helps the design to retain its shape and allows it to drape beautifully. So if you've ever considered knitting a cardigan and you want to give one a try, this is a fabulous first cardigan. However, even if you're more of an advanced knitter, this cute little top makes an amazing wardrobe staple. Also, you've got to check out these adorable bracelet length sleeves. They're just short enough so you can go about your business, like doing the dishes or gardening or, let's be honest, crafting, without getting them wet or dirty or having them be in the way. And they feature this pretty little cable motif running down the length of them, which just adds a little bit of that's cute. I also love how this collar tapers subtly into the front band. Such a beautiful little design detail. This cardigan doesn't need buttons, although you could add some if you like. It's just meant to hang loose and open and comfy. Just toss on as you mill about the house or you go to work. It's just gonna be a lovely wardrobe staple that you can wear every day. To get this lovely posh look, we used our sumptuous North Fingering yarn in color Frosted Peaks, which is a beautiful, cooling, icy aqua. It's one of my favorite colors. It just flows throughout any season and it just looks fabulous with so many other colors. This soft and snuggly yarn is mostly extra fine merino wool, and it has a little strand of Pima cotton wrapped around the core, which are those soft snowy white bits that you see. This yarn lends a sense of interest to the piece and just adds to the overall sophistication. You can download the pattern and get the yarn over at expressionfiberarts.com. While you're there, be sure to sign up for email and for text updates for weekly free knit and crochet patterns. So let's talk about how you can make this or any cardigan that you knit or crochet fit like a dream, look professional, and just feel amazing on you. The first thing that I would suggest is that you want to choose a pattern that is both right for your body and your lifestyle. Do you normally prefer more fitted styles, or do you like loose, boxy styles? You just have to ask yourself, am I actually going to wear this style of sweater? Do you like raglan style sleeves, or maybe set-in sleeves, or a drop shoulder? What makes you feel fabulous? If you've chosen a cardigan pattern, but you don't have something similar in your wardrobe, I recommend that you hop over to your favorite shop or a used store and try on a similar cardigan design so that you can really ask yourself in real life, do I love this and how does this make me feel? The second thing that I recommend is that you consider drape and gauge when you're choosing your yarn. You should always knit a gauge swatch when you're making your garment. I mention it all the time here in our videos. It is so important. If you're new to knitting gauge swatches, it's super simple. You're just gonna knit up a little square of fabric according to the instructions in the pattern using the needle size that the designer recommends. If your gauge swatch is bigger than the designer's, meaning your stitches and your rows are larger than theirs, you're gonna go down a needle size and reknit it, and vice versa. If your swatch is too small and you need it to be bigger, you're gonna go up a needle size and reknit it until you get the same gauge as the designers. But here's the kicker. When you finish your cardigan, you're probably gonna wash and block it. You are. So you need to wash and block your gauge too, so that you can tell the feel of the fabric, the size, and the drape, so you can really ask yourself, does this yarn work with this project? And in most patterns, including Cindy, you are gonna find measurements for a blocked gauge swatch. And if you're using the same yarn that the designer used, you can already tell the drape and the flow based on the photos and the videos of the pattern. Definitely check out our recent video comparing different fingering weight yarns. It's gonna show you how different yarns with different fiber contents drape and move. The third thing that I would recommend is taking accurate body measurements. If you can recruit a willing helper, that's fabulous, but if not, you can totally take them yourselves. Make sure you're standing up straight and grab these measurements. You're gonna need your bust, your waist, your hip measurements. You're also gonna need your shoulder width. You're gonna need your sleeve length, and the starting point for that will vary per pattern. Check the schematic in your specific pattern, but this one, for example, starts at the shoulder. You're also gonna need your armhole depth, and keep in mind when measuring this, you don't wanna curve it, you wanna keep that measurement straight. You're also gonna need back, neck, neck to hem and your wrist circumference. Once you know these measurements, you can choose the proper size of cardigan. And choosing the right size just depends on the amount of ease that you want. Positive ease just means the sweater is going to be bigger than your body. Negative ease means the sweater is smaller than your body and has to stretch to fit you. And then no ease means it's the same size as your body. Usually for cardigans, you're probably going to want a little bit of positive ease, at least a few inches. For example, my bust is 34 inches, and so in this pattern, I'm going to make the size 3, which is going to give me 2 inches of positive ease. But if I wanted more positive ease, like more of a loosey-goosey fit, I could size up and make a 4 or even a 5. Having your accurate body measurements allows you to make design changes before you begin actually knitting your cardigan. So if you want to shorten or lengthen the sleeves or the body length, you totally can before you even begin knitting. The fourth thing that I recommend, if possible, depending on your pattern, is that you try your cardigan on as you go. If it's a top-down cardigan, it's super easy just to put your stitches onto some scrap yarn or a longer cable needle if you need to, and try it on as you go just to make sure that it is fitting the whole way down. If, like this Cindy cardigan, your design is made in pieces, then finish that piece, wash and block it, and then hold it up to your body to make sure it looks like it's gonna fit. The fifth thing that I recommend is maintaining tension throughout your entire project. You wanna maintain tension throughout your project so that it looks beautiful and consistent and professional all the way through. So I recommend that before you sit down to knit, shake out your hands, your wrists, shake out your shoulders, relax, take a few deep breaths, and then go ahead and sit down to knit. You might even want to knit on a sampler piece a little bit to warm your fingers up before you jump into your actual cardigan. This will ensure that your fingers are nice and warm and nimble and that your tension's the same throughout your cardigan. The sixth thing, which is very important, is blocking your project when you're finished. Do you have to block your finished sweater? Ideally, yes. It does really take your project to that next level, makes it look so professional. If you skip everything else and just do this one step, it is gonna make such a huge difference in your projects. Just gonna soak your piece in lukewarm water, perhaps with some wool wash, give it a gentle rinse, and then squish out the excess water with a towel. Then you're just gonna lay it out, pin it into shape, and allow it to fully air dry. You can use blocking boards, you can just use your carpet or rug, whatever works for you, but just let it get fully dry. You can totally block your finished cardigan just like I'm showing here, or for pieced designs like this one, I really recommend that you block the pieces first before you seam them together. So block and then seam and then weave in your ends for a beautifully professional finish. The seventh thing that I want to talk about are the finishing touches. Here are some things that you might want to try. You could add a custom label for a gorgeous little professional finish. You can use mattress stitch for gorgeous clean seams. Use quality buttons or closures if your pattern calls for them. It just takes it to the next level. Or you can add embroidery to your project for that little extra special touch. If you follow these tips, you're going to be so much better set up to end up with a piece that you love and that fits and that feels fabulous than if you didn't do any of these prep steps. That's sort of like flying blind. You just don't know what you're going to end up with or where you'll end up. And definitely check out all of the other lovely cardigan and pullover designs that we have on our website. We release new patterns every Friday and they're usually free for a limited time. So if you want to get notified when those go live, just sign up for our email list. And if you have any other tips that you find super helpful, I would love to hear about them. Definitely post them below, as you just might inspire somebody else today. Have a happy day, my friend. I hope you have such a cozy week. Definitely have a hop back on next week for another new design reveal. You're gonna love it. I can't wait to see you then. Bye.